So as solid-state drives are becoming ever more affordable for the consumer market, a lot of people are adopting them as boot drives in their computers, and the problem is that solid-state drives are still fairly small for the price you pay, and a lot of people are running with 60 gigabyte boot drives. Now, while this is sufficient for Windows and one or two programs, it is not going to be able to hold all your programs and your documents and everything on your computer, obviously. So you will still need a storage drive. Now, it is possible to have Windows automatically install programs and have your user files on that separate drive, so that you don't have to go through all the trouble of maintaining it all the time. And there are various ways you can do it. You can do it after you've installed Windows, but I like to do it right when I'm installing Windows and have it done right from the beginning, because I believe this is one of the cleanest methods out there. So I thought I would just do a quick tutorial and show everyone how I split my drives in Windows, and this is through the installation. So I'm going to do from a cold installation, no Windows on the computer, straight up, and you kind of do it in the middle of the installation. Alright, so I've loaded the CD up into the computer, and I've gone through the first couple of steps on the installation, and I'm here now. I need to select Custom or Advanced Installation, and then it'll take us to the partitioning page. Now, with me having 3 drives, there's going to be obviously the 3 drives set up. For you it may be different, you may have only 2 drives. If they're all brand new drives, then there'll be no partitions set up and you'll have to set up partitions on them. But make sure that your solid state drive is the first one you do the partition on. Obviously you can tell by the size of the drive which one is your solid state drive. It's generally going to be the smallest one. And the reason for that is because Windows creates a second partition here, a 100 megabyte partition of type system, and all that has is that it creates an extra small section of the drive just reserved for Windows components, and as far as I know, it contains critical information for the boot up of the drive, of the computer. So if it's not on your solid state drive, it will obviously not give you the full performance of your solid state drive when booting up. And if you remove any of the other drives from your computer may not boot up. I had this happen with another computer in the house where the 100 megabyte partition was on a separate drive to the drive upon which I had installed Windows. And the problem with that was that I just decided to remove the extra drive one day, and then the computer wouldn't boot. I had to reinstall Windows completely just so that I could remove the extra drive without causing failure on booting. So that needs to be on your solid state drive, and to do that you just make sure you partition the solid state drive first, and you'll see it'll just say disk 2 partition 1 and disk 2 partition 2. In this case disk 2 is the ID of my solid state drive in the partitioner. What I'm going to do is, seeing as I had Windows installed on this computer already, I'm going to go through and click drive options and just format each one just to clean it off. Otherwise there'll be extra files from the previous installation still on there. So if you have new drives, you will not need to do this. You will need to create the partitions though, and just format each one, and then make sure that before you click next that your solid state drive is the one that is highlighted. Otherwise you may end up just installing Windows to one of your other hard drives, and then you'll have to start over. So once this is done, my solid state drive is highlighted, I will click the next button, and now it'll proceed to install Windows on the solid state drive. It'll automatically reboot about twice by itself. Don't do anything. You can leave the computer for the next 10 to 20 minutes. When it reboots, it'll ask to reboot from CD. You don't actually need to press the key. It'll automatically handle everything, and I'll see you next when you need to take over again. So, having installed Windows now, it is waiting for the first user account to be set up. You don't want to proceed from this step. Pretty much this is where we're going to do all the major stuff now. You might as well take the CD out of the drive for now and put it in a safe location, because we don't need it anymore. So I will do that with mine. And then we're going to open up the command line interface and split the files across the new drives. So to do that, we hold down Shift F10 and we get the command line. Now on my computer with the 3 drives, my solid state drive is C, my 1 terabyte drive is D, and my 500 gigabyte drive is E. What I want is for my user files to be on the D drive, and for my program files and ProgramData to be on the E drive. To move that over, we first start off by going robocopy C/users to D/users, and then go /E/copy/all/xj and hit the enter key. Now it'll string past with all the files being moved, and pretty much all these command line things, it's pretty basic. You type it in, you hit enter, and it should do it. And what we'll do is I'll put all these command line commands in the description for the video, so you can read them for yourself. They are case sensitive and space sensitive, so please follow them carefully. If you can read what's on the screen and follow it, that's great too. But they'll be there in the description for reference. So the next thing we'll do is move the program files onto the E drive. So robocopy C program files to E. Now again, that's the E drive, not the D drive for me. Program files /E/copy all/xj. And again, we'll get the output of it copying each file. Once that is done, if you're running a 64-bit version of Windows, you will need to do the x86 program files folder as well, which is for 32-bit applications. If you're only running a 32-bit version of Windows, which I don't really recommend these days anyway, but if you are, you'll only have the one program files folder, so that's fine. In this case, I'm installing the 64-bit version, so I will need to move the program files x86 folder over as well when this is finished. And then that's done, so robocopy C program files x86 to E program files x86 /E/copy all/xj. The next folder we will do is one more hidden folder called ProgramData. Same process as before though. You just normally can't see it on your C drive unless you've got hidden files enabled. But we'll just go robocopy C ProgramData, which is one word as down in the description. E ProgramData /E/copy all/xj. We'll wait for that to complete before we can move on to the next step. Okay, now that that is done, we can start removing the directories and creating junctions that will connect them through to the new drives. So we type in rmdir or remove directory C/users/s/q. It's pretty quick. So next one, rmdir slash program files slash s slash q rmdir c program files x86 sq, and we hit enter. Now the next one, ProgramData, has some protected files, so there will be a few errors when you do it, but still go ahead and do it anyway. rmdir c ProgramData, sorry, slash s slash q, and as you can see there are 4 files there that are unable to be deleted. It says access is denied, but that's fine, that always happens. Next, we want to create junctions that redirect any programs that still stray into the C drive looking for users and program files, so that when they access C users or C program files or C program files x86 or C program data, it goes through and it finds a junction there that automatically directs it to the D or E drive, and things keep going without a hiccup. And so to do that, we go mklink or mklink c slash mklink slash j first, then c slash users to d slash users, and enter. Junction created for C users to D users. That's alright. Now we repeat the process. Mklink slash j c program files d program files, hit enter. Junction created. Link slash j c program files x86 to D program. Whoops. Now you see, I made a mistake there. What I did was I created the junction of C program files to D program files. It is supposed to go to E, for me at least. So what I need to do is remove directory C program files for now slash s slash q. That's done. Okay, now we recreate that link. Make link slash j c program files to e program files, enter. Junction created. That's good. So now we'll repeat that, and what we'll do is x86, and we'll send that to E program files x86, and the junction's created. Now, because we had those errors with the ProgramData folder, we will not be able to create the junction there because it still detects that there's a folder there in its place of that name. So that won't work, but we can sort that out later, and so we will get back to that. For now, we'll type in regedit to open up the registry editor. We'll go to H key, local machine, software, Microsoft, scroll down to Windows, current version, and then on the right side, with current version selected, you'll see a lot of entries here. Some of them will have pathings in the data with C. You want to change all of those to the drive where your program files are. So to do that, you right click, modify, send them over to E in this case. Well, this just helps Windows to know where the default location is, so that it doesn't have to go through a junction every time. So your default program files location is now on the E drive. Now that all your pathings have been set for your program files. The next place we want to move to is to go back up a little bit through things and go to HKey local machine software, Microsoft, Windows NT, current version, profile list. Yes, profile list. Where is it now? Profile list over here. And then over on the right side, all the pathings are now set system drive. Now we don't want that to be the default location because we've moved it from the default C drive. So change all of these. You'll notice the one here named ProgramData. You want to change that one to the E drive in my case. In your case, if you've only got 2 drives and it's just a storage drive and a solid state drive, everything will be D. It'll be much easier. In my case, with the 2 drives, I need to make sure ProgramData goes to the E drive where I moved it. But all the others will be on the D drive. So we're replacing the %, system drive %, with the name of the actual drive. So D in this case, modify D users. And so we'll just go through and finish these up. D users / public, etc. Alright, so now we're done with the registry editing, and we can close up the registry editor and close up our command line. We have finished creating the junctions for program files and users, and we've set up the new default pathing in the registry editor so that we can create our user account, and it will by default go onto the D drive without ever having been created on the C drive. So all these other options that you can use to switch things over to the new drive after you've installed Windows. The problem with that is that you have to log out of your account, create a separate account, move your account over, log out again, switch to your main account, and then move the other account over, and it makes things a little bit too complicated for my liking. In this case, you get it before the drive even contains any user files, before any of the user files are in use, before any program files are in use, and it's nice and easy. And yeah, it works. So in this case, I will go ahead and set up my account, put in my registry, my key for the registering of Windows and all that, and I'll see you once we've hit the desktop for the first time. Alright, welcome back. We've hit the desktop for the first time. First of all, we just want to check that everything is alright, and so we'll hit Windows key E to bring up my computer. We'll see our drives C, D, and E. They appear to all be labeled correctly as we expected. D drive is the 1 terabyte, E drive is the 500 gigabyte, and the C drive is the solid state, which is 60 gigs. If we go into the solid state drive, we can see that the junctions have been created for program files x86, and users, which is this little arrow. It looks like a shortcut. Pretty much, if we click on that, it redirects us straight through into the D program files, the E program files folder without any hiccups. So that works. That's good. Now we go over and look at the D drive. A D drive contains the users folder, as normal as my user folder. It's all properly set up. And on the E drive, we have program files. Now, we can't see the ProgramData folder that we moved over because it's a hidden folder, but we can just enable that by hitting the Alt key, going to Tools, Folder Options, and going to the View tab and selecting Show Hidden Files, Folders, and Drives. Click Apply, click OK, and we can go back into the drive, and we'll see that in the C drive there's the old ProgramData folder, as we expected. And if we go over to the E drive, there is the new ProgramData folder. This is now the active folder, but we still want to get rid of the old one if possible. So what we're first going to do is reboot the computer so that those old registry the registry adjustments are indeed confirmed and set. So we're just going to reboot quick, and I'll see you when we get back. Okay, so now that we're back on the desktop again, after having rebooted, We've just been wowed by how much faster our solid-state drive allows the computer to boot up, and our registry edits from earlier should have taken effect by now. So we can open up my computer again, go to local disk C, and we can click ProgramData and just hit the delete key. Now we should be able to delete it now, if I remember correctly. It says you'll need to provide administrator permission to delete this folder. Click continue, and there you go. Your ProgramData folder should have vanished. Now if it doesn't and it keeps giving you errors, the problem is that you didn't try removing the directory with the command line before creating a user account back when we were in the command line earlier. For some reason, if you don't try delete it, then it keeps on giving permission errors, and I've tried and tried and tried and not been successful in doing it. And in my case, I've ended up having to just reinstall again, do that process, and make sure I attempt to delete it from the command line while at that step back there. And then when I get here, I'm able to easily just delete the ProgramData folder. It vanishes and it's all good to go. So now that we've done that, we still don't have a new junction set up for ProgramData. So what we're going to do is go and press the Windows key and R to bring up the run dialog. We'll type CMD to get the command line, and then we will go and say mklink /J for junction, C /ProgramData, and E /ProgramData as before, and just hit enter. Now the junction has been created, and so if we close up, we should be able to see the junction for ProgramData. If we click on it, we get a folder with contents, and if we check, that is the same ProgramData folder as we have over here. Now if you want, you can go back, click on the Tools tab here, go Folder Options, and you can choose to again do not show hidden files, folders, or drives. Click Apply, and your ProgramData folder is forever out of your view. It will not get in the way. This junction will work as always. And yeah, congratulations. You have just finished setting up your new solid-state drive. You have automatic readjustment of your users folder. So any new users you create on this computer will automatically be in the D drive. You will not be filling up your solid-state drive with extra information that you do not want. Programs by default, even if the coding in the thing does not allow you to set the parsing, and it says it's going to install to the C drive, when it tries to install to C program files, the junction will redirect it straight through into your storage drive anyway, and your program will be there. So everything works perfectly, and it's all tucked away nicely, out of your mind. You might as well just have one hard drive, but you've got the performance of a solid-state drive, so enjoy.